Hey guys, I'm back. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year, and this is video 230 of 365. Thank you all for being here with me. Wanted to share a little story today of what I did, and I went to the eye doctor today and haven't been in like two and a half years, somewhere around there, and I'm normally really on it, but I wasn't on the eyes this time. So I was a little nervous actually because I've noticed a change in my eyesight, just a tid tad, and so I went in and filled out everything and did the little tests that you do, and met with the doctor, and he looked at my pictures of my eyes and he was like, "Has anyone ever told you that you have bigger cups than the average person?" And I was like, "Nope, I don't know what that means." And he was like talking about the optic nerve and how this part of your eye looks like a donut and the center of it is where the cup is, and he was just explaining the eye anatomy to me, and he's like, basically, like, if you have like not enough tissue around the cup, then if you get glaucoma, like it can mess with the tissue and basically help you go blind quicker if you have the bigger cups, is basically what he was saying. So he's like, "You look fine though, you look healthy, it's just you have the bigger cups." And I was like, okay, and I gotta say, like, when he said that, I was like, like right then, I just felt that feeling like when somebody, I'm assuming, I've never been told this before, but like when you get a diagnosis, like, hey, you have cancer, like I had cancer cells that showed up on a pap smear, back in 2014. And so I remember how I felt. I was so scared. And then they said, that they were severe and I had to get a procedure done and everything. And then everything was fine after that. But then they showed up again like a year later. And so all these things went through my head. But today it really went through my head. I was like, man, like I don't want to ever mess with my eyesight. Because I was like, in that moment, it was like, what if I were to go blind? I know it won't happen, but it's like, I thought about it for a second. Like, if I were blind, if he were saying today, like, hey, you're going to be blind in 6 months or something, I was like, man, I need to be grateful for every moment that I have. And so it really just drove that into me again, that we need to live in gratitude and thankfulness and appreciation all the time. And when we do that, we're connected to our true self. We're connected to source. We're connected to the divine. We're connected to all the great energy around us, instead of the humanness that's like, hey, you got big cups. That normally is referred to something else. But today, it was the eyes. And so I was just like, that's interesting. And I just kind of took it like it was just like a sign that I need to remain in gratitude all the time. And how important that is to say thank you for everything that is working in and on your body. And the eyes have always been, I'd always say, like, if you were blind, nothing would really bother you around you because you just want your eyesight back. And so if you have eyesight, be thankful. You're rich if you have eyesight. Think about that. Like, you're rich if you can see. You're rich if you can hear. Rich has nothing to do with money necessarily. It has to do with abundance. And you're abundant in eyesight. Like, that's all you need when you think about it. And if you're on that trajectory of thought, you can't go wrong, because you're only staying in gratitude all the time and only staying in abundance mindset instead of scarcity and lack and fear. Remember, there's fear or love. So you get to choose where you're at. And the fear, I could feel that fear for just a second, because normally at doctor's visits, everything's always great. But when he said that, I was like, what? No one's ever told me that. And it just like went through my head for a second. But really what happened is instead of getting fearful, I went right to, I've got to be grateful that I can see right now. And I've got to do what it takes to take care of my eyes, whatever else I need to do, make sure I stay hydrated. He said that I had something else, like something with my blood vessels, and like that I'm not blinking enough, basically. And I was, because I look at the computer screen all day long, and I was like, my goal is to not look at the screen as much this year. and blink more. And so he said, they do this thing where they can massage your eyelids. I was like, what the heck? And make the oil come out and lubricate the eyes more so you don't get dry eye. Because he's like, do you have dry eye? And I was like, no. So it was just it was odd. I mean, I've never dealt with these things before. And he's like, well, you're getting older. And I'm like, I refuse to believe that. So I don't know. It just drove home again that we need to be grateful, live in gratitude, be grateful and thankful and appreciative for things that you don't have yet. Also, that's the key, is like, as Neville says, live in the end, that whole thing. And it's just like, just live in gratitude all the time. Pray as if your prayers have already been answered. Live in that energy. And everything you've ever wanted will come to you. It'll come so easily. We want to create our lives from relaxation and openness and love, steadiness, groundedness, being rooted instead of being chaotic and panicky. And that's what I really want to teach people, is like how to just remain in peace instead of in chaos, because the world is chaotic. So we don't want to contribute to our own internal chaos. We want to create an internal peace instead. And that's where abundance comes from too. And if you just notice, here's a great practice. Again, like, look around you and notice abundance. Make it a practice that you always notice it. You live in abundance all the time, that mindset all the time, that energy all the time, because you will start to think thoughts that only align with abundance, and you won't even go to the other thoughts anymore because they won't feel good. They just simply won't feel good, and you'll notice the shift. You'll notice the contrast in between a good feeling thought and a bad feeling thought. So if you just stay in constant gratitude, living as if your prayers are already answered, whatever your prayer might be, and just say thank you to everything, and really thank your body for working properly, especially your eyes. Oh my gosh. I was like, man, like, what if, that what if goes through your head. And I was like, golly, I just love to be able to see. And it was crazy because my right eye was a lot better than my left eye. And apparently I'm like not left-sided, nearsighted in one eye and far-sighted in the other. And which is weird kind of, but my left eye today was way worse than normal. And I didn't know it was that bad. And so and it's nothing that can't be healed, of course, we know, but I have been under a lot of stress over the last year, I will say. So it's just, it's a daily practice, and it's just a reminder, I guess. I'm your reminder today. And I was a reminder to myself that I need to live in the energy of gratitude more. So just say thank you to everything around you. Look at yourself in the mirror. Say, I love you. I love everything about you. You're amazing. You're doing a great job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a hug. Tell yourself, I love you. And continue to do that every day. Praise everything on you. Like, live in praise. That is like such a great energy to live in. And just look around at people that you see and mentally praise them. Praise yourself throughout the day. Mentally send these loving thoughts to people and just show love to them, through your thoughts. They won't even know that it's from you, but that energy is being sent to them, and it's also being sent back to you. I just do believe that what we send out, it boomerangs right back. It's just a mirror. So I think that's a really great practice. And, I just thought about blind people. At that point, I was like, man, like, that's got to be so hard. And to just not be able to see. And they can see other things, I'm sure, though. They have other abilities that we probably, seeing people don't. People with sight don't have. But I think we need to, instead of scrolling and comparing ourselves and complaining and looking back at the past and reliving it in our present, we need to very much so be focused on, what am I thankful for? What do I appreciate about myself? What do I appreciate about others? What do I love about myself? What is so great about me? And what is so great about others around me? And mentally send love to people, mentally send love to yourself. Talk to yourself. Watch how you're speaking to yourself. Words are spells. So really watch what you're saying to yourself and live in love, live in gratitude, and everything will shift for you. You're going to see big changes. It's amazing. And I think the number one thing we really want is internal peace. And that is just priceless. We cannot literally put a price on that. No matter how much money you lack right now or how much money you have, you could be in chaos no matter what's going on in your life. So if you just continue to have the intention of and think bigger picture instead of what the small thing is right now that you might be going through, is it going to matter next month? Is it going to matter in a year or 5 years? Think 5-10 years ahead and be like, what's the bigger responsibility here? You know, what's the bigger picture that I'm going to commit to myself to start thinking differently to where I can create what I'm really wanting versus being panicked in the now and not enjoying and living in the now. So yeah, that's my message for today from the eye doctor that told me I had big cups. At first I was like, what are you trying to say? Is this sexual harassment? I don't have to take this. It was kind of funny. I did not say that to him though. And I just thought about it. I was like, what? I was actually in shock about it because I was like, oh my God, because we were looking at pictures of my literal eyes. And I was like, is everything okay? You know, because I just never been told anything like that before. So this was inspired by the I guess the mild scare I had at the eye doctor. So I'm sure I'll have another story tomorrow. We'll see. But well, this is video, 2:30. So thank you all for being here as usual. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to. Please share this with anybody who might need to hear that they need to live in gratitude today and practice thankfulness. And practice appreciating yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. And remember, you're so loved. Pass that on to somebody who needs it. Mentally send that to somebody. If you don't want to say it to somebody, mentally send it to somebody. It'll come back at you like a boomerang. Remember that. Everything you put out, you get back. So decide what you're going to water, and it'll bloom for you. And I will be back tomorrow. I'll see you later. Bye.